move on to Anya.
So I'm going to talk to you about some of the outside-the-box examples of using virtual tours. I mean, we spent a lot of time talking about specific examples of virtual tours this morning, and I talked about importance of interactivity, importance of making it personalized, and importance of it being smart so you can get all the data from that. But outside of showing the flooring, outside of showing the cabinets and all those features, like what else can we be thinking about? So I have 11-year-old twins, and they are obsessed with video games. And I think pretty much any Gen Z, millennials, right, we all grew up with video games. And video games are becoming more and more real. So when I look at their screen, it's like, wow, I can't believe how realistic it looks. And I think with virtual tours, we're definitely moving in a direction where it's becoming very, very real. So soon, especially with Metaverse and Web 3.0, Meta invested ton of money into this metaverse, right? Whether it's going to pay off or not. But the whole idea of Web 3.0 and metaverse is that your experience when you go online is going to be virtual. So you're essentially going to be entering this virtual world where you're going to be able to interact with people virtually. So until we have the suit that we can put on, so I can feel and touch and really get a feeling that I'm inside of a model home, that's the next step. But we can utilize other senses to help us make it more realistic. Because when you are visiting a physical model home, there is something about that smell, the touch, the sounds, everything else that still separates real from imaginary. So let's talk about some of those things that can help us make real virtual tour feel more real. So I want you guys to close your eyes for a second. I know you just ate, so don't fall asleep on me, but close your eyes and come on, everybody, close your eyes. Okay. And I want you to listen to the sounds. Do we have the sounds? And tell me where are you guys right now?
At the beach.
The beach. So this is an example of a virtual tour that we did for New Jersey, Jersey Shore builder. And so, I mean, just listening to the seagulls, and you can hear the waves. And we also incorporated, if you notice, the change in a sunset versus a sunrise. So it really transports you into that, because when you're buying a house at the Jersey Shore, great, yeah, you want to buy a great house, but it's probably not the reason why you're buying a house there. You're buying a house for the experience of Jersey Shore. So what's easier to transport them into that experience than to add the seagulls and to add the waves to that?
So sound is missing from a lot of visualizations, right?
Yes.
And from the AV industry, the home theater world, 80% of the emotion in a movie is actually carried by the sound.
Yeah.
So we're leaving the emotional component out when we're not.
It's like we play silent movies.
Yeah.
And that's such an easy one to incorporate.
Yeah.
And so whether you have a community or if you're just selling an individual standalone home, so I took the sound out on this one, but you can see, so how many of you guys have ever been to Outer Banks, North Carolina? Like, so instead of just showing the house and the backyard, they really included the surrounding area. And right, if you've ever been to Outer Banks, like you can immediately recognize this is Outer Banks. And so whether you place this house on the shore side or you place that house on the sound side, you can really play with those sounds and the surrounding landscape to transport somebody into that feeling.
So that's drone photography, that's not CGI or computer generated graphics?
It is computer generated.
It is?
Yes. So it is
Great.
photoreal, but computer generated. Exactly. Or an example of somebody buying that lake house. Again, when you're buying a lake house, you're probably not buying it for the house itself, although again, it's great to have a house, but the sound of the lake and the waves and maybe the surrounding forest. So those are all.
Is it computer generated sound?
You know what? I'm not sure about that. So, but I'm sure there's probably a whole lot of galleries we can tap into. So I don't know if we need to necessarily use AI when you have real ocean recordings.
Right, right.
But yeah, so again, it's all about transporting the buyer into the state of mind of, hey, what is it going to look like when you own that lakefront home? And it's more than a house itself. It's how it feels to be there. And you can do that easily with the sound. Another, I don't know if we can play this video. Oh, perfect, okay. Another detail that you can easily incorporate is how is that going to feel to live in this home throughout the day? So you can see here the progression of time as the light changes. So again, as a buyer, oftentimes we want to know, hey, do I need to add this extra window? Is that something I really need? And you can see how the time progresses here and whether or not, whoops, sorry, I can't. I'm challenged with technology. It's not letting, okay, there we go. So you can really see how the sun comes into the home. You can see it rolling on the floor. And so it really gives you more of a feel that you're really there. Again, so incorporating light, that's an easy one to make somebody feel like they're really part of that experience. This one is showing changing seasons. So if you're a builder in Colorado, for example, and it's all about the winter time, why not show them the experience of what it's going to feel like to be there in the wintertime? Or again, if you're selling a beachfront community, show them what that is going to feel like with seagulls. So all the again, it's easy.
Where are
right?
your jingle bells? It would have been seasonal.
Yes.
I know. I didn't want to take too much time with all the sounds, but yes. So now we've done a great job again showing flooring and all the finishes. And John, I know you talk a lot about showing smart home technology or showing if it's
I have a soft spot for that
You
stuff.
do have a soft spot for that. So how can we show that in the home, in a virtual tour? So unfortunately, we haven't had any builders ask for that yet, but I wanted to show you an example of incorporating hotspots. So the Clayton homes, they're modular or manufactured homes. So
welcome, I am here to take you on an audio tour. I'd like to introduce one of the new plans from the Rocketeer series from Clayton Homes. The Rocketeer is built in a series, ranging from a single wide all the...
While the exterior walls are erected, team members have been assembling the intricately engineered truss system that makes up the foundation of your roof.
So again, most people are not familiar with what manufactured homes are. So they've incorporated these videos as hotspots into the virtual tour so that you can learn about manufactured home. What does it mean to live in a manufactured home? And so I thought that that would be a great way to also incorporate any information about whether it's smart home technology or a healthy home. That's certainly an idea.
So that was a second video. We did the roof trusses and then we went down to the flooring. But I think we've got the structures and systems track that's been running side by side with this. And part of that's about how do we innovate within the structure and in the systems, but it's also like, how do we tell that story, right? And here's some great examples of storytelling, right? Where your base video is exposing some of the detail, and then you're doing education and taking it out of the factory and helping them understand quality. So that's exactly the sort of stuff we're looking for in this session.
Exactly. So, but yeah, with the hotspots, you can pretty much show them and teach them about all the different features of your home. So in this case, they're just using a simple brochure to tell them about the finishes. But yeah, why not do that with smart home, et cetera. Another interesting feature for virtual tour is the whole community. So instead of just making one model and touring one single model, why not show them the entire community and show them several different models on the same street so they can go inside the model, come out, and really tour it like you would a parade of homes. So it's another outside of the box idea that a lot of our builders are starting to utilize. And again, it's just showing an interactivity there because again, when you can engage with the virtual tour, you become emotionally attached to that experience as you go through. Let's see. So this is an example of showing the entire community and amenities. So we know that new construction buyers buy new construction for amenities. It's not just about the home anymore. So if you do have amenities in your community, make sure that you are incorporating that into your virtual tour. Tell them the story of what it's gonna feel like to live in your community. I mean, I just love that the sunset, like, right? You can feel that like hitting your face and what it would feel like to swim in that pool. I certainly want to jump in. So it's not just about inside of a home, but it is showing what it looks like outside your entire community.
Anya, what's the process like working with a builder or a developer on stuff like this? I mean, where is the creative inspiration coming? Is that at Anugo or is it at the builder and then you guys are working to a spec? I'm just curious about that.
So it's definitely collaboration.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a team of experts who, I mean, they live, breathe this stuff day in and day out.
Yeah.
So when we partner with the builder, we can always suggest certain ideas, but I think a lot of it comes from their marketing because they've already done the homework. They already told us, hey, who's the ideal buyer for this community? What type of amenities I'm going to offer?
Right.
So it's just transferring that to.
And are there already like these video assets that exist that would show amenities experience? Or because my typical take on that is there's some fancy brochure, coffee table brochure that's got pictures of something that's not realized yet, but do you guys like work from a base document like that to bring it to life and
Yeah, it's
animate it?
very similar to bringing a home to life, right?
Yeah.
With the CAD files, so it is kind of a similar process to that. Another thing that I wanted to show is incorporating humans into the experience. So the one you just saw, it was just amenities, no humans, but now we can also add people, we can add animals. To really bring it to life. And what's wonderful about showing humans is that you already know who your ideal buyer profile is. So help them see themselves in this video, right? There's a lot of stuff that we can't do because of fair housing rules when people come in and they ask, hey, who's buying in this community? But you can attract your ideal buyer if you can show them what that ideal buyer looks like.
Okay, is she a mom of those kids? Like, she's very fit. She's very fit.
Hey,
Okay,
Nanny.
I was
That's the
buying
nanny.
it until I saw
Why do
that.
they all look so darn fit?
Right.
Totally.
That's the avatar, right? We don't want any.
Do you need to have diversity in the dogs too? I mean,
We have to represent pets, but
Cats. We need cats.
This is
John,
the
you
year of
have
the
a cat?
dog. We need to understand what the Chinese New Year is. This the year of the dog? I don't.
I don't know. Where's our cat?
The cat is back here. The cat's on the table.
How many times did I have to say that?
I'm sorry. This is the. We have the elephant, and this is the stuffed cat. Not everybody.
Not a real stuffed cat. It's not like taxidermy.
Well, no, it's not a Siamese.
Or it's not
It's not
taxidermy.
taxonomy. Taxidermy.
Yeah.
Or
We're from
taxonomy.
Texas, taxidermy.
Do you want to talk about the cat?
No, it's your cat.
But I want to take this moment to do a little educating because not everybody understands putting the cats on the table. We've had to talk
I
through
didn't
this,
know.
right?
I didn't.
Elephant in the room is the big issue that nobody wants to talk about. Cats on the table is there are these vexing little details. And they're running all around your feet, and you're like, let's get that cat on the table and try to understand it. I don't know that this applies to what you're going over,
totally.
but Melissa wanted to
Absolutely.
see the cat.
Yes, so we can definitely incorporate cats, dogs, and we know people will pay extra money for their pets. So if you have some sort of amenities for pets and
Yeah.
there's a dog park, hey, show them off. People love to see their pets. This one is an example of a gym. So again, you can add a sound of somebody actually running on the treadmill to make it sound real. So again, when you're seeing all the different amenities in the clubhouse,
Oh, that's great.
add the chatter so that you feel like you're part of the community and people are not just, sitting there, they are actually moving around and doing something.
That's great. And then but the choice of the human profiles that you put in there, that's a tricky choice, right?
It is.
When I worked at Spiegel Catalog, one year we actually just formed the menswear stuff with chicken wire, and we didn't have any faces on it because we wanted it to be anybody to identify with it. So that's tricky stuff.
Well,
on
I
the
think
creative side.
in marketing, it's actually the opposite. The more specific you can be, the better. So if you can identify those faces, it's better. So actually what's really cool is that we're working on technology now where just like in a video game, you know how you come up to a character and they send you on a quest? You'll be able to come up to people and ask them, hey, why do you like living here? And they'll tell you all about this community. I love these amenities. I love this. And so it's, again, incorporating that.
So are we there today, or we're
Not
close,
quite
or
yet,
what?
but
Okay.
close. So that's the next iteration. So that's what's so exciting to be on the front of that is to see all the innovation when it comes to virtual tours.
I think it's interesting how we're kind of piling up these assets that make everything more real and compelling, right? We talked yesterday a lot about furniture and decor, and now you've added the environmental outside and the other elements of the experience in the community, and then humans too. So we're just layering in new assets that make all of this more compelling, more stronger educational tools, et cetera.
Absolutely. And the last thing I just wanted to show, if you're sitting there and you're saying, well, that's great, but I don't have any amenities in my community, well, you can still show the exteriors, you can still show people, you can still show the birds, traffic, whatever. So again, it's all about making it feel real for the buyer because they want to see more than just a home.
It's cool. Very good. Thank you, Anya.